Three icings at the end of that Rangers game, a couple here the other night. I wonder if you've thought about
No.
the idea. No, you know where I'm going?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going for it.
Okay. And time, circumstance, situation, magnitude of
We're going for it.
Yeah. Is this something you guys have talked about?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are other plays to be made that the guys didn't see.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna. We're not gonna go. You got to get to the red line and get it in. It usually ends up causing turnovers, as far as we're concerned. So if we have a good chance, we're going for it.
You ask you guys to start straightening out their drives a little bit.
Well, just like see Luke put it in the net.
Go back to the last game with Bob in that second period, that first save he makes on Kucherov. When you see him make a save like that on the bench, are you immediately like, okay, he's locked in, or did it take a few for you to realize that he was kind of a different goalie from that first?
No, we trust Bob. I mean, the amount of work he's done for us to give us this opportunity to get in, it's not I'm counting saves. Oh, he's back. No, Bob's a really good goaltender. And we don't have a chance of competing in the playoffs or getting here if we weren't on his back.
You guys see a lot about Savvy in his offense recently, but the way he was able to sort of grind out the last 20 seconds or so along the wall there, the way that he plays, and just seeing him have a moment like that where the clock is running down. What does he provide you guys along those lines as a guy that can help you in a moment like that?
Well, that's his biggest strength, is underneath the hash marks and defending. Now, that's a unique situation where we're trying to keep it on the boards. I don't think it's just Savvy. Nudi's in there. We've got a number of people trying to just keep it boxed into the corner. But one of Savvy's biggest strengths is underneath the hash mark and defending there and just being a big body.
What is it like when you're just waiting for those seconds to tick off and the puck's just kind of buried in the corner like that? What's that like, just watching that unfold?
Yeah, I'm just hoping they keep it buried in the corner. And, they end up getting it out of the corner, but it hops over to the player's stick. All teams in those situations are going to try to do that. We just showed some clips on that. I thought the positioning of our forwards in front of the net were good too. Hopefully in this series we're in that situation again that we're leading. So we certainly go over things like that as we go through a series.
Towards your two studs there on D, Jones 24 years old, Werenski 21, still growing. How would you describe this biggest step they've made this year with their games and the importance of your team?
Yeah, well, with Z has really defended better this year. It's something that I'll say if I can, at the beginning of the year, had a couple of meetings with him right away when we entered camp about that. We felt he was banged up the prior year with his shoulder, and so I kind of left him alone. But he needed to be more competitive under the hash mark and more competitive on pucks. I think he has struck a nice balance here as far as his strength is offense and joining and roving. But he needs to have the other side of the puck taken care of. He's done a really good job of that. Jonesy, I think one of Jonesy's biggest, I want to say improvements, biggest growth is his leadership. I think he's becoming a leader. He's an alternate captain for us. I think he's been a little bit more vocal. He's been involved in meetings with the coaches in certain situations during the game in a leadership group. I think he's growing in that area. I think he's a perennial Norris Trophy winner. He's going to get that eventually here. He's that good. Not that the trophy's that important, but I think he is. If they define that trophy the proper way, or they pick that defenseman the proper way, not just a defenseman that gets a lot of points, but also a defenseman that defends really well, that's right in his wheelhouse. He's those two, if we're going to play well, those two are a big part of our engine as far as how we get going.
With his maturity in game one, the puck hops over his stick in the first goal, he scores the last goal.
Yeah.
Is that an example of how he's been able to grow?
Yeah, it's a great question because I watched him after the first goal, how he handled himself. And You know, the building's alive. I think we're playing pretty good up to that point. We get a power play. And maybe if we can even double up a momentum if we score a goal in that power play. It absolutely backfires on us. I watched how he handled himself. I watched him his next shift. Didn't bother him. You know, he deep down, they care. All the players care on both teams. He felt it's a pretty big mistake early on in the series. But I watched how he came out and played his next few shifts. Did not bother him. And that's a bit of his attitude too, Peck, is he's kind of laid back. I think it gives you a little bit of a false sense that he's not an intense player. He's a very intense player, but I think he has a really good attitude about himself and handling those type of situations.
John, that's a real obvious one. Were there other moments in that game the other night where you saw growth from your team, from maybe the way they would have handled an adverse situation last year or 2 years ago in the playoffs? Have you seen that yet?
Well, I think in a game one, if we want to talk a team wide in a general term, in a general situation, I think we have, without losing our identity, have made some little adjustments in how we have to play this team. I think our team showed a tremendous amount of concentration in those situations that we've asked them to. I don't want to use change, but just subtle things as far as the mental part of the game, what to be looking for when we play against this team. I thought their concentration level was really good, and it wasn't really good for 25, 30 minutes. It was good pretty much mostly through the game. Now we got to be careful. That game goes either way. You know, we win it, and all of a sudden we've done everything right. We didn't do everything right. They didn't do everything wrong. It's just funny how the narrative goes when a team wins and the team loses, the day in between, how the narrative goes. Different things happen in that game. We found a way to win it. We know how we have to keep on preparing. And so to answer your question, I feel really good about our team in that they stuck with it for the full 60 minutes and some of the subtle changes we had to make within our game.
Tampa doesn't clearly want to go down 2-0, so there's going to be a level of desperation with them. Tonight, you prepare your team for just what
yeah.
It could be like?
Yeah, we know what we're up against here. And, again, the narrative starts going around in between, and we're going to be ready, and we'll say we're flatlining, and we're just, it's the same. You hear it from every damn team between game one and game two. It's the same stuff every year. And I guess we have to say it, but we're playing against a really good team. We know they're going to be really good tonight, and we're going to have to be better. As the series keeps on going, we're just going to have to be better. So we're just taking it one game at a time and trying not to get involved in if we lose the game, we're not going to try to get involved in all the BS that comes with, oh, shit, Tampa's coming now. And, we're just going to get ready for our next game. That's the only thing we can do.
I was talking to Torts a little bit this morning about what you guys have learned, not just from game one, but over the course of being in the playoffs this long. What have you guys learned over that stretch of time that allowed you maybe to endure the ups and downs of that game one?
Well, they're going to happen. Within a game, the momentum swings are going to happen, and it's the way you handle it, and I think we feel more comfortable in it now. And then just going about our business. It's about each game, each period. That's a focus. For years, the talk was, if we could get a couple years of this experience under our belt, we'll be a better playoff team. Has that kind of panned out? Well, yeah. You got to get there to experience it, obviously. So, we can definitely take lessons, but we're just focused on this series. Yeah, absolutely. And what do you expect in terms of a first period push here? They're going to come out with guns blazing, right? Yeah, no, they came out hard last game, like you've seen, and obviously they start fast at home, so we'll be ready for it. Right. Experience in the playoffs, not just this first game, but over the last couple of years, what has that taught you as an individual and taught the team that allows you to endure the ups and downs, I guess, of a game?
Yeah, you said it. There's obviously ups and downs in the playoffs. It's a total different atmosphere out there and different style of play. So you got to be ready at all times and different momentum stages at times too that you got to be ready for. But anything can happen in playoffs. You saw that the other night. So we're going to keep our foot on the gas here and play a good game tonight. Josh, how do you feel like this team has matured in that area in terms of handling stuff like that? Yeah, we definitely have overcome some things, and obviously had some good experiences down the stretch over the last couple of years with our team, and a lot of guys returning this year. So I think that we're ready for the challenge, and we're looking forward to getting right back at it.
Does it seem like there's nothing that not phases you, but you've been through it before. You know the atmosphere, you know the intensity, all that kind of stuff, and being used to that has got to be a help, I would imagine.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Obviously, coming around again this year and sneaking into that wild card spot, we know where we stand, but at the same time, it is the playoffs, and it's a different style of hockey. So, once you do get in, it's anyone's game. Obviously, we believe in our team, and we got a good lineup. So, hopefully we can continue this success.
You believed in yourself before. Do you believe in yourself a little bit more after the way Game 1 turned out?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, Game 1, went pretty well for us, but we're thinking about tonight and what we have to do to win Game 2. So hopefully it'll be a good one.